you have committed to our church. Amen. Confirm whether we have quorum, clerk. If not, Senator Thumbs laying the quorum bill for 10 minutes.
The business of the Senate has just commenced this afternoon, and upon the commencement of the House, the quorum bell is ringing as per the directives by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Kathuri Murungi, who is presiding over the business of the Senate this afternoon. The quorum bell is some sort of leeway for members of the Senate within the presence of Parliament to make their way into the chamber this afternoon to necessitate the quoration of the House to begin the consideration of business before the Senate this afternoon. And pursuant to Standing Orders number 52, subsection 1, the Senator for Nyandarua County, Senator John Methu, is set to make a statement regarding the World Autism Day and Month. The month of April is a month on autism, and I want to believe that statement is guided by the world and the Kenya celebration of people living with autism. On Standing Orders number 53, subsection 1, the Senator for Isiolo, Senator Fatuma Dulo, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Matters Labor and Social Welfare regarding the status of employment of chiefs across Isiolo County. This is chief officers and not chiefs. The employment of chief officers in Isiolo County. Away from the status of employment of chief officers from Isiolo County, the Senate leader of the majority party is set to issue a statement on the business of the Senate for the week commencing the 15th of April 2025. Pursuant to Standing Orders number 57, subsection 1, I understand that the House will be going for a short recess a day before the Good Friday. And this statement by the leader of the majority party is set to reflect on that. There are a number of bills as well as motions for consideration by the House, with other bills with amendments that the House is set to consider this afternoon. The report of the Standing Committee on Matters Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning the restraining of county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases is a motion given priority in the order paper this afternoon. The House is set to resume debate on this motion that is seeking to regulate the hiring of lawyers and law firms by the county governments. The Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of the year 2023, is a bill at the third reading. This bill is lined up for division. The National Disaster Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of the year 2023 by the leader of the majority party. The County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Bill number 39 of the year 2023, where members have already concluded upon the consideration of the various amendments proposed to the County Public Finance Laws. the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, a bill by Senator Mohamed Chute, Bill number 34 of the year 2023. The House will also be considering the Land Amendment Bill, this being a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 40 of the year 2022. Senators are making their way into the chamber this afternoon following the quorum bell has been attained. Allow me to hand you over.
All the senators, can you have your seats? I want to start this session with Honor Senator Medu. Yeah, Senator Mugeni, if your life can be very difficult this afternoon. So, Clerk, call out the first one.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next one.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next one.
Order number 3, messages.
Next one.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next one.
Order number 5, papers.
Next one.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next one.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable Senators, we have a statement pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 by Senator for Nyandarua County, Senator John Medu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's the first time that I'm addressing from this side. But I want to firmly confirm that I am still on that side so that I can rock the boat from within. Honorable Speaker, I hope my colleagues know that this month is the World Autism Month, and therefore, that's why I want to make this particular statement on World Autism Awareness Day and Month. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. I'm wondering whether you can ask Commissioner. He looks quite excited. I don't know what refurbishment is happening in Parliament.
Senator Ndama is right behind you. Maybe he's the one causing the disturbance.
I wish they can listen to this. It's extremely important. I rise pursuant to Standing 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of international and national concern. The recognition of the World Autism Awareness Day, marked annually on the 2nd of April, and to further observe the entire month of April as Autism Acceptance Month. This is a significant occasion for promoting understanding, inclusion, and support for individuals living with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Mr. Speaker, sir, autism is a complex neurodevelopment condition that affects how a person communicates, interacts socially, and experiences the world around them. In Kenya, Mr. Speaker, children and adults with autism continue to face systemic barriers from stigma and discrimination to inadequate access to health care, limited education opportunities, and underfunded support structures. Families raising children with autism often bear a heavy emotional and financial burden, often without commensurate public support. Mr. Speaker, sir, while Kenya lacks a national autism registry, available estimates from the Ministry of Health and the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, suggest that at least 1 in every 100 children in Kenya may be living with autism. With a child population of over 20 million, this means that more than 200,000 children could be on the autism spectrum, many of whom remain undiagnosed and misdiagnosed. The number of adults with autism is likely to be higher, considering gaps in diagnosis in previous decades. This year's theme is moving from surviving to thriving. Challenges us to shift from awareness to meaningful action. It is not enough to simply recognize. Autism. We must build systems that empower individuals on the spectrum to live full dignified and independent lives. Mr. Speaker, sir, I commend the Senate for the passage of the Persons with Disability Bill, which for the first time formally recognizes autism and other neurological conditions as disabilities under law. This is a groundbreaking step towards equity and inclusion. However, legislation must be matched by action. I urge all relevant institutions to ensure that, number one, children with autism receive early screening, therapy, and inclusive education. Number two, families receive adequate support services, both in urban and rural settings. Number three, public awareness is deepened so that stigma no longer isolates those living with autism. And finally, resources are directed toward specialized training for teachers, medical professionals, and caregivers. Mr. Speaker, sir, inclusion is not charity. It is justice. Children and adults with autism are not asking for special treatment, but for equal opportunities to learn, to grow, to thrive, and to contribute meaningfully to the society. Let this Autism Awareness Day and the entire month of April remind us of our duty to build a Kenya where all people, regardless of ability or diagnosis, are valued and supported. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yours truly, Senator John Medhu, the Senator for Nyandarua.
Next is Senator Okongo Mugen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm rising under Standing Order 52 to seek further directions from the Office of Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 1st of April this year, I raised a statement concerning the division within the County Assembly of Nyamira. After I brought that matter to the attention of the House, your office did direct, Mr. Speaker, that the matter be dealt with on priority basis at the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 8th of April 2025, the two factions and the Office of the Control Budget appeared before the committee and they were heard. In view of the urgency of this matter, Mr. Speaker, I'm seeking your direction, Mr. Speaker, that the committee gives a progress report to this House, at least by next week, in view of the urgency surrounding the dispute within the County Assembly of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker.
That indeed is a very urgent matter that should really be dispatched off soon as time possible to have the County Assembly of Nyamira run smoothly. I cannot see the chair on devolution and intergovernmental relations. I don't know whether there is any member of that committee. Devolution and intergovernmental relations. I'm aware they under stakeholders forum on a certain bill, and I know they are still on in that meeting at the county hall. So, Senator Mgeni, let's wait for the chair when he comes back to the chamber. You'll be able to guide us appropriately. Okay.
Challenge your directive, but I thought, Mr. Speaker, if you make a communication, that can be sent to the chair.
Since you said you want to get a progress report,
yes,
and I cannot from my seat give a progress report.
That's okay.
So let us wait for the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
To give us that guidance.
Thank you.
Senator Duro, understanding Order 53.1, you have a statement? Are you aware that you have a statement?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek statement from the Standing Committee on Labour and social welfare on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of employment of chief officers in Isiolo County. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the contract of the chief officers in Isiolo County expired on 15 March 2025, and the reasons for the lack of advertisement or the renewal for their contracts to date. Number 2, reasons why the process of their replacement has not been initiated, including the impact of the currently vacant positions on governance, decision-making, and service delivery, and any measures in place to mitigate service delivery disruptions in the absence of duly appointed chief officers. Number 3, plans by the county government to fill the vacant positions and ensure the continuity of essential services along with timelines for their recruitment and appointment. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A few members to give. Is I'm aware of you. That Senator Ndani Manzu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the statement of Senator Meadow. Mr. Speaker, autism and any other disorders or disabilities are quite widespread in the country and in the world. In Makuene, I'm aware of certain families whose children have that disorder, and there are every efforts by the county government to assist. Mr. Speaker, it has been a national
No, the chair has that power to make any decision.
Give Mr. Speaker. This is a matter of national importance. And in fact, Mr. Speaker, it is a matter which can affect anybody, can affect any family, can affect anyone in the world. And it's not anybody's design. And Mr. Speaker, there has been an outcry in the country over how we take care of our people with disability, Mr. Speaker. There has also been big problems associated with the funding with the National Council of People Living with Disability. And Mr. Speaker, it is important if some research can be conducted and continues to be conducted so that we should be able to treat children who find themselves unfortunately born with this disorder. Some are born without it and acquire that particular disorder as they grow, and it becomes a big burden to the families, Mr. Speaker. So I want to support Medu and seek that we need to improve the policy in the country, generally to relieve children such pain, and generally to take care of people with disabilities. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Actually, you are not supporting but making a comment on that statement. You know, you are seasoned and you know how we ran these things with you a long time ago. Yeah? Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving us the opportunity to make a comment on this statement on World Autism Awareness Day and Month, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this statement has come at a very timely moment, Mr. Speaker. You know, sitting in the National Cohesion Committee and in the Labour Committee, where we are always pushing for PWDs to get equal opportunity, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend some of the organizations and some of the commercial entities that have actually taken it upon themselves to push and support disabilities such as autism, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether the House is aware that some of the most creative people are actually those with autism, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether the House is aware. Mr. Speaker, I have gone to an establishment, a restaurant in Nairobi, where they have decided that they're going to focus on PWDs as employers. And sometimes they have thematic days where the people serving you and taking the orders and everything are actually children or people with autism, Mr. Speaker. When I say this, I am glad that this House, the upper house, has chosen to focus on important matters, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, today we are being pushed on left-right decisions where now we are even being forced as a nation to go down to you know, looking into issues such as plays, Mr. Speaker. You look at now this particular statement on autism, Mr. Speaker, where we are encouraging that people support the people living with disabilities and the different forums, including the Creative Forum, Mr. Idea of the creative space, Mr. Speaker. And even in light of everything that is going on and the youth looking for positions, I have heard our learned friends out there saying that only teachers are allowed to train and do. Yes, I understand we have the TSC Act, Mr. Speaker, but to go down as a government, Mr. Speaker, and micromanage the content and everything to do with Drama Festival, Mr. Speaker, it is very sad. It's a sad day today, Mr. Speaker, for the girls who are in Butere, for the Drama Festival. It's very, very sad, Mr. Speaker. And one thing I want to say, you know, I'm commenting on World Autism, Mr. Speaker, and I've told you the most creative people are because me, I know, I go to this establishment. The most creative people you find, unfortunately or fortunately, are actually people living with disability. Our Senator Crystal Asigel here, we have seen how she is such a good artist. Yeah? Mr. Speaker, I have been in that space where if we actually were intentional in understanding that creative space, we would not be running up and down throwing tear gas at children because they have been given scripts to go and perform at the Drama Festival, Mr. Speaker. In fact, my first question was, what was happening? These people have gone all the way to the national. They have won the zonals, they have won the provincials, they have reached the nationals, and then someone somewhere has decided that the content of this script is not working. Mr. Speaker, me, I was in high school, in charge of drama, Mr. Speaker. By the way, those in St. George's can attest and tell you, I used to do solo verses. And when I was in high school, we were there during the transition of our President Mwai Kibaki and Moi. That was 2001, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Gloria.
And if I could, if
I
you
give you 2 minutes to make a comment on Autism Day. And now you are on a different story on Tiangas.
No.
Things.
Mr. Speaker, I was trying to shed.
I'll start you down.
Mr. Speaker, I was trying to shed light. You know, autism,
You're
Mr. Speaker.
Now. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, let me just conclude by saying, Mr. Speaker, you know, I was trying to enlighten the members of the House that in fact there are establishments that have majored in taking up people with autism, which is the statement as I'm adding my comment. And if you go, there's a restaurant, by the way, in Lavington. They deal with deaf waiters, deaf chefs, and once every month, I think, or every quarter, they actually encourage people with autism because they have skills, creative skills and talents to come there, do painting, serve guests and whatever. And in light of that, I was saying it is a very sad day today when we are actually, as the upper house, celebrating autism, that we are seeing girls who are practicing their skills in Butere being tear gassed. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say, as I conclude, that as a creative, because, Mr. Speaker, I'm a producer, I want to support this statement of autism, and I also want to support the creatives out there, including the girls of Butere, and I want to tell them that let them continue pushing on because something somewhere is wrong, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
You said you are producing, but I've no information what you produce. No. I'll see you privately to understand better. Senator Wambua, Enoch, just because we have some good business here before us.
Can we argue for 3 minutes, please?
Also avoid digressing to other matters which are not...
We will try, Mr. Speaker, but please 3 minutes. 2 minutes is too short.
Just 2 minutes. Make a comment.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to comment on that statement by Senator Adulo on the issue of the chief officers in the Isiolo County, the Speaker, that for more than a month now, a government is running without chief officers. The Speaker, this is a total breakdown on the rule of law. As a Speaker, we can decide today to bury our heads in the sand, but we can also decide to speak out for the truth and for the rule of law. As Speaker, what is happening in Isiolo as a symptom of a breakdown of the systems of governance is the same system that has broken down, Mr. Speaker, in the education sector in this country. Mr. Speaker, we cannot sit here as a house and not make a comment on what is happening at Butere House. Mr. Speaker, it is a big shame that in fact we have a government in office today harassing children. From last night, Mr. Speaker, you saw police officers using live bullets to harass children who are just acting, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are here to say that, Mr. Speaker, when a government goes down to this level, Mr. Speaker, that government should resign. It has no business being in office, Mr. Speaker. We can't let our children be harassed the way they are being harassed today, Mr. Speaker. And actually, I'm ashamed of my colleagues. I'm ashamed of my colleagues who think that, Mr. Speaker, they can stand here and defend a government that is harassing our own children, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, all my time.
It's a point of
All
order.
my time.
Mr. Speaker, I rise by understanding order 105 on accuracy of facts and stem of fact. Mr. Speaker, can the deputy minority leader table evidence that the police have used live bullets to harass the children, Mr. Speaker? We cannot allow our young children to be part of contestation. In fact, Article 53 of the Constitution 2010 is we need to protect children from people who want to take them to political contest, Mr. Speaker. So can we, in fact, Article 53 says we must protect children from being used to fight political wars like what Senator Wambua is doing, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order, can he table the facts, Mr. Speaker, to show where the police have used live bullet and to show where the police have tear gassed the children, Mr. Speaker? Can the deputy minority leader be table the facts as part standing order 105 on statement of fact? This is not a political rally where you are just saying one, Mr. Speaker. Article 53 of the Constitution protect our children. Don't allow him to drag our children through the mud of political contest.
Senator, can you conclude your comments?
Mr. Speaker, in fact, the shame should go to Senator Cherage. Mr. Speaker, the strength of my statement is based on the same news that you watched last night. Live broadcast, the Speaker, from a reporter on the ground in school, showing the world a live bullet that had been fired where these children were rehearsing. Mr. Speaker, our children have been harassed by the police since last night, Mr. Speaker. And we are calling on this government, Mr. Speaker, if it cannot protect our children, this government should resign. That's what we are saying, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
We are saying, Mr. Speaker, if you cannot protect our children, resign. You have no business being in office.
Thank you. Thank you. Senator Mudigi.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa ruhusa niweze kuchangia mjadala ambaye inaletwa na Senator Akitui kuchangia, anakuja kuoppose. Ningetaka kupinga Bwana Spika, nyumba hii ya Senate ni nyumba ambaye iko na njia mpangilio. Ningeomba Bwana Spika.
Senator Mundigi. Have your seat. Just sit down. Order, senators. Order, senators. Order, senators. Order. Order, Senator Ombua. Senator Ombua. Senator Ombua, please. Be respectful to your colleagues. Please. Yes. Order, senators. Order. Order, senators. Order, senators. Just find your way to your seats. Order, senators. Senator Chalagay. Senator Chalagay. Just order. Senator Chalagay, are you the one managing this house? Why are you making noise? You risk going out right now. You cannot direct me on what to do. You cannot. Hold your cool. Honorable Senators, I have the communication to make. There is a message from His Excellency the President on the nominees for appointment to the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. Have your seat to the nearest seat. Just nearest is, you have eyes, Senator Sheikh. Honorable Senators, I have a message to communicate from His Excellency the President regarding nominees for appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. They received to Standing Order 47 and was transmitted to the Senate via the letter reference EOP/CMB 26/4A/volume 6/19 dated 2nd April 2025 and addressed to the Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate by the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service, Mr. Felix K. Kosgei. Pursuant to Standing Order 47(1) of the Senate, I shall now report the message to the Senate. You are most graciously notified that His Excellency the President, as in exercise of the constitutional prerogative vested in the head of state and government, made nominations to the membership of the Central Bank of Kenya. The presidential action is pursuant to Section 11(2) of the Central Bank of Kenya Act 491 Laws of Kenya, which states the chairperson and director shall be appointed by the President with the approval of Parliament. In that regard, and in accordance with Section 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Chapter 7F of the Laws of Kenya, kindly be pleased to receive the nominees for appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya for consideration by Parliament. 1. FCPA Sophie Moturi. 2. CPA Abdullahi Mohamed Habdi. 3. Ms. Beatrice Kosgei. And 4. Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owol. To facilitate the consideration and approval process of the August House, we are pleased to provide Certificate of Presidential Nomination number 4 of 2025, along with the curricula vitae and testimonials of 4 nominees. In light of the Central Bank of Kenya's crucial role in formulating and implementing monetary policy to achieve and maintain price stability, Parliament is kindly requested to prioritize the consideration of these nominees. Honorable Senators, Section 11(2) of the Central Bank of Kenya Act provides that the chairperson and directors appointed under paragraph D of subsection 1 shall be appointed by the President with the approval of Parliament and shall hold office for a period of 4 years, but shall be eligible for reappointment for one further term of 4 years. In relation to this, Section 3 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act states that an appointment under the Constitution or any other law for which the approval of Parliament is required shall not be made unless the appointment is approved or deemed to have been approved by Parliament in accordance with this Act. As such, therefore, Section 8 of the same Act provides that 1, unless otherwise provided in any law, a committee shall consider nomination and table its report in the relevant house for debate and decision within 28 days from the date on which the notification of nomination was given in accordance with Section 5. And 2, at the conclusion of an approval hearing, the committee shall prepare its report on the suitability of the candidate to be appointed to the office to which the candidate has been nominated, and shall include in the report such recommendations as the committee may consider necessary. Honorable Senators, the period on the matter that is now before Parliament starts running upon the speakers of the Houses of Parliament committing the names of the nominees to the relevant committees in the Senate and the National Assembly. Standing under 77(1) of the Senate provides that upon receipt of a notification of nomination for appointment for a public office under the Constitution or any other registration which requires approval by the Senate, the nomination shall stand committed to the relevant standing committee for consideration. Standing under 77(1) of the Senate provides that upon receipt of a notification, this being the case, the message from His Excellency the President, together with the curricular veto of the nominees, stands committed to the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget for approval hearing. The committee is required to hold the approval hearing jointly with the Departmental Committee on Finance, Planning and Trade of the National Assembly in accordance with the provisions of the Central Bank of Kenya Act, the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval Act, and the standing orders of the Houses of Parliament. Part 26, Joint Committees of Parliament of Senate standing orders and the corresponding part of the National Assembly standing orders shall apply during the approval hearing. I direct the committees to expeditiously consider this matter and to table a report thereon within the stipulated timelines. I thank you. There is the statement by Senator Faki and 52(1). Is it 52(1) or 53(1)? No, let's get from Senator Sosi under 52(1) first.
Mr. Speaker, I want to make a personal statement on the life and legacy of Professor Philemon Fundi Indire. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52(1) to make a statement on the matter of national concern, namely the life and legacy of Professor Philemon Fundi Indire, who passed away on 13th March 2025 and will be buried on Saturday this weekend. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Philemon Fundi Indire, a constituent of Vihiga County, was a towering figure in Kenya's academic, religious, diplomatic, and political landscape, and stood out as one of the Kenya's most distinguished educationists and public servant. Professor Indire began his education journey at Makerere University, where he studied alongside the late President Mwai Kibaki as classmates. He later taught at Friends School Kamsinga before proceeding to United States of America, where he earned a PhD in Education Foundation from Indiana University in Bloomington. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon his return in 1962, Professor Indire served as the Provincial Education Officer for Nyanza region and was later posted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as an Undersecretary. After Kenya's independence, he became the first secretary at the Kenyan Embassy in Moscow, Russia, helping establish diplomatic ties with the then Soviet Union. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Indire was appointed the founding dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Nairobi in 1966 and was later made Professor of Education as the first Professor of Education in Kenya in 1972 by President Jomo Kenyatta, being the first Kenyan to hold such a title, Mr. Between 1983 and 1988, he served as a nominated member of parliament appointed by President Daniel Arap Moi. In his last years, Professor Indire continued to shape young minds at the university, at Maseno University, and also served as a visiting professor in multiple universities in the United States. He was a devoted Quaker and he participated very actively in Quaker organization across the world, and most importantly, the setup of Friends Center along Ngong Road, and had a moral compass to many in both private and public spheres. Mr. Speaker, sir, Vihiga County and indeed the entire nation mourns the loss of this great mind and mentor, a man whose life was a library of wisdom, service, and humility. His contribution to education and nation building is remarkable. On behalf of the people of Vihiga, I extend my deepest condolences to his family, friends, and the wider academic fraternity, religious fraternity, diplomatic fraternity, and political fraternity. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the capacity of the county government of Mombasa to issue building permits and supervise construction site. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 3rd of April 2025, a 10-story building in Mombasa was reported to be collapsing, and as a result, emergency services were mobilized to address the anticipated disaster. Alarmingly, the concerned developer had submitted and was granted approval for plans for a 6-story building, but disregarded the approved plans. This illegal action by the developer escaped the attention of the county government of Mombasa, raising concerns about the effectiveness of the supervision of construction site by the county government. Further, the current boom in multi-story property development in Mombasa is being undertaken without due regard for the availability of the requisite infrastructure, such as water, sewerage, electricity, road networks, calling to question the capacity of the county government of Mombasa to issue building permits. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following: the number of approvals granted by the county government of Mombasa for the construction of multi-story buildings between August 2022 and March 2025, including the applicable charges for each approval. Number 2, the number of civil engineers, physical planners, building inspectors currently employed by the county government of Mombasa, and whether the personnel are adequate for the effective discharge of their duties. Number 3, the steps being taken to strengthen the supervision and monitoring of construction projects to ensure strict adherence to approved building plans and to prevent unauthorized deviations. And number 4, the strategies being pursued by the county government of Mombasa to match development of multi-story buildings with development in other essential infrastructure, such as water, sewage, electricity, and road networks. Mr. Speaker, sir, yesterday we witnessed the demolition of the 10-story building in Mombasa County, which was undertaken by the KDF with the assistance of the Emergency Services, National Youth Service, and the County of Government of Mombasa and the police. Mr. Speaker, although the demolition was conducted safely, we lost one person on Sunday when the building partially collapsed as a result of the weak structure of the building. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Faki, next time don't add anything to your statement, you know. Statement under 57-1, standing on 57-1, majority leader. Or your principal assistant.
Mr. Speaker, I would have handed my unverified assistant, but I'm told she misbehaved before I came into the House. So I'm still following reports and analyzing what she may have said. Then I will know whether to take another route. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, I hereby present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, the 15th of April 2025. This is on the status of legislative business that is pending before the Senate. Number one, Mr. Speaker, there are 59 bills, of which 41 are the second reading stage, 12 are the committee of the whole, and 6 are the third reading stage. There are 23 motions that are pending conclusion, 26 petitions to be concluded, 17 of which are due for reporting. Mr. Speaker, you know, committee chairs are here, and I hope they can be respectful and mindful of the fact that time is of the essence. It is not out of failure for what to do, Mr. Speaker, that we provided in our standing orders that petitions must be concluded within 60 days. And therefore, I hope the chairpersons that are in the House, Mr. Speaker, can help conclude. There are 578 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 that are under consideration by the Standing Committee. Last week, I can report to the House, Mr. Speaker, that we were presented at SBC with a proposal from our technical staff on how to manage statement time with regards to cabinet ministers. The SBC further requested the same technical team to perhaps present a paper which we shall share with the House eventually, the findings on the issue of statements. You can imagine these are 578, Mr. Speaker, some of which perhaps have already been overtaken by events, or some of those matters have been resolved. So there needs to be a way within which, first, we vet what statements make it to the House, but second and most importantly also, a time frame within which we can conclude the statements once they make it to the committee. The bills that are the third reading stage are scheduled in today's order paper, order number 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I urge honorable senators to remain in the chamber for division to be undertaken. I'm not very sure whether that is a wise call, Mr. Speaker, looking at the House and having served in this House fairly long enough. I know to get people here on certain days is not easy, so probably if we don't succeed today, we will try and conclude on them Tuesday. Some of them are very pressing issues, including your own bill, Mr. Speaker, where you're seeking to grant autonomy to our county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, and so many other bills that are before us. Next week, Tuesday, Mr. Speaker, the SBC will consider that particular matter that I've raised, and as well as scheduled business for the week that will be indicated in the order paper. The tentative morning sitting for Wednesday include questions to various cabinet secretaries, as well as motions that are already approved. There will be questions to the CS for Interior, Mr. Speaker, quite a number of them. There are questions also to the Minister of Education, Mr. Speaker, on that particular day. Then the tentative business, and it will be the tentative business for sitting on Wednesday, 16th of April 2025, will include business not concluded from the order paper for Tuesday, 15th April 2025. The bills that are second reading are thus listed: the County Government State Officers Removal, the Creative Economy, County Government's Amendment, Labour Migration and Management Bill, State, the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Mr. Speaker. A very good bill, Mr. Speaker. You know, this practice of people waking up, especially in counties, I think they are following up from our forefathers, Mr. Speaker, that decided to name almost everything after themselves. Nowadays, governors in some counties, they build a road and they name it after their first wife, tomorrow, their girlfriend, and the roundabout, you know, things like that. This bill actually seeks to provide the procedure through which public funded
infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, are to be named. Then there are motions as well. Honorable senators may recall that the Senate is scheduled to proceed on recess next week on Thursday, that is the 17th of April, in accordance with our calendar. I therefore take this opportunity to urge all senators with the business schedule in the order paper and programs of the Senate business for the next week to be available in the House to prosecute the same. I urge our party whips to ensure that necessary number of county delegations is achieved for divisions to be undertaken when due. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and do hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. I thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Chair, Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Senator for Nyamira, can you now repeat the issue that you raised with me? The chair is now in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, last week on the 1st of April 2025, I did raise a statement on the
devolution. Chair, Senator Chelegai, give Chair time to listen to my directive.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last week on 1st of April 2025, I did raise a statement under Standing Order 53.1 before the House on the happenings within the County Assembly of Nyamira, more so the division that had led to the creation of two factions of county assemblies within the county of Nyamira. Mr. Speaker, your office did direct that this matter be handled with the utmost urgency, and I want to report to the House that on the 8th of April 2025, the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations had a meeting with the two factions of the County Assembly of Nyamira, together with presentations from the Office of the Controller of Budget. Mr. Speaker, in view of the urgency surrounding this matter and to ensure that there is restoration of normal operations within the County Assembly of Nyamira, I seek that the chair of the committee gives a progress report to the House next week. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And devolution.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware or may be informed by the Senator for Nyamira, we have called both parties, the warring parties, from the Assembly of Nyamira, the day before yesterday, Monday, and we have listened to them. The only challenge now we have is the matter is in court. And since the matter is in court, we cannot reach a decision because that's the prejudice of the court. However, we will submit the report. We have already asked for our legal team to advise us accordingly. Of course, we are not in court. It's only them who are in court. So we will try our best to at least submit the report next week, God willing, by Thursday, hopefully.
Thank you, Chair. I think that's a good commitment. Looking at our time, I'm constrained to go to the next order, which is order number. I'm constrained to go to order number 8, but I can give two members from both sides, two. Start with Senator Lekina. And kindly stick to the statement that you are committing, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Union. I always say this is a house that unites the entire country. When we have a crisis in terms of the management of our counties, it behooves all of us to come together and come up with a solution. Mr. Speaker, the statement raised by Senator Dulo is something that should worry all of us, because the county chief officers are tasked with the day-to-day running of those counties. If you hear that the county government of Isiolo does not have the 32 chief officers, then it begs a big question. Who is running that county? If you look at the PFM Act, Mr. Speaker, in terms of resources, the chief officers have got a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that the funds are utilized well. Even when the funds are being withdrawn from the control of budget, the chief officer is the one who has got to sign. So, Mr. Speaker, when Senator Dulo tells us that Isiolo does not have chief officers, that is a matter that all of us must take very seriously. We need to be able to sit with the control of budget, first of all, to understand how funds are being utilized. Is it an issue of on-source revenue? But when you think about it, Isiolo doesn't have a lot of on-source revenue. So it's a shareable revenue, the revenue that we in this House divide for our counties. So that is an issue that must be dealt with. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the issue of, and that one, I hope that the chairperson of the Labour Committee can take that matter seriously. This is an issue that committee should actually travel to Isiolo, go deal with it so that we understand exactly how we are managing our counties. The issue of Nyamira County is an issue that also concerns me. How can we have 2 county assemblies? I mean, it is ridiculous. We know that we have 1 county assembly that should meet in the county assembly premises unless it is gazetted that we are going to be meeting elsewhere. Mr. Speaker, if the Senate plenary decides to host its meeting elsewhere, it must be gazetted. So these are very simple things that needs to be dealt with. You know, it's just a matter of ensuring that we adhere to the rule of law, we follow through. So I hope that the devolution committee, let us not deal with the issue of courts. You know, there are things which become sub judice, but when it is the issue that relates to, you know, that the supervision of the counties by the Senate, that is a matter we should actually move very expeditiously.
Just a minute, Senator Omugeni. I mean, Senator, okay, sorry, Rendama. Chair, devolution. You have a point of order?
Information.
Or point of information?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform the House and the member of the Senator for Narok. As much as we appreciate that there must be only one location or one venue for the Assembly, they have gazetted another venue. Actually, 4 others, they call it, what do we call it? Something Mashanani. And they have 4 venues, actually, they have gazetted officially. And I'm informing, actually. One other thing, Assembly, order. Honorable Speaker, please, let me comment first.
Proceed.
But one other thing, Honorable Speaker, the previous Speaker was forcefully removed from the office and the chamber. And it actually was even injured. And therefore, he has even run away because of fear of his own life and his team. So they hold the meetings in other places. Thank you.
Can you conclude, Senator Aquino?
Mr. Speaker, he's my colleague, so when he informs me, I have to really take it seriously. But one thing that worries me, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to bring to the attention of this House, is that when we have the 2 sittings of a county assembly, and this one says it is a county assembly, you know, it is illegal. So really, we have to look at it this way. The Speaker of this House sits on that chair having been elected by the members of this House. So if the members of this House decide to forcefully remove a Speaker, how can then the clerk of the Assembly goes ahead and gazette another sitting area? So this is a matter that I think the Devolution Committee should not tolerate those gazette notices. Sittings of assemblies, sittings of the Senate must be held in plenary in a place which is recognized. Remember, Mr. Speaker, we pass budgets of assemblies to build their headquarters. So then how do we treat that? How do we continue saying we need to collect more money to support those counties, yet people are going to sit under a tree to hold proceedings? This is something that really we should be very careful. Because tomorrow, if some of us decide that we are not happy with the speaker, we forcefully remove him there, and then someone sits here, we divide this house. Come on. It doesn't work like that. So, Mr. Speaker, these are two very important issues that we must address as a Senate of the Republic of Kenya. The issue of Isiolo County is something very, very important that all of us must remember, that when we are given responsibilities, chief officers are tasked with the fiduciary responsibility. Now, who is responsible in that county anymore? Chief officers are the ones who deal with the day-to-day operations. If you're talking about CECs, those are political appointees. Those are people to guide on terms of policy. But who implements that? A chief officer is like a permanent secretary, a PS. You know, so these are things that, Mr. Speaker, we need to be very serious upon. You know, other agencies, even the Attorney General's office, even the Treasury, must also be alive to the fact that there is a problem in Isiolo County. Deal with it. Let us deal with it. There is a problem in Nyamira County. If we keep sitting here and we play, you know, and our committees don't take the matters seriously, then of course we'll be making a fool of ourselves. So, Mr. Speaker, I end by reminding our colleagues that we are House of Union. All these problems that we are facing as a country, even the issues about drama and students, the role that we should take ourselves is we should attempt to unite those agencies that are fighting. Those students, those are our children. If we unite those children and also try not to expose our children to things that are controversial, you know, we have to remember that we are here and whatever we do, our children are learning. Let us be good teachers, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Ndama. Senator Omugeni, you know this House can really benefit from the senator representing that particular county with issues. And I've really repeated myself severally that you are not, the senator may be for West Pokot. Is here to represent the interests of the West Pokot County. And it is the senator representing a county that has issues, the way Senator Nduro represents Isiolo, and you, Senator Mugeni. The senators, your colleagues should benefit from your information and knowledge concerning that particular issue in Nyamira. Of course, not everybody was at the inquiry on Tuesday. Not all senators were there, but I want to give you 3 minutes to put us to speed, especially on the issues in Nyamira and what is happening. I know you have tasked the committee to do that, but you wanted to inform the chair. So I want you to take 3 minutes so that this House can benefit from you as the senator for Nyamira County.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. And of course, you are right, Mr. Speaker, that the people of Great County of Nyamira are looking at their senator and the 67 other senators to find a solution that is within the confines of the law. And I thank the chair of the divisional committee that is seized of this matter, Mr. Speaker, but I want to agree fully with Senator Oloikina. Mr. Speaker, people cannot come to this House and tell us that there are cases filed in court and we run away from our responsibilities. If you remember the Solomonic decision by former Speaker Marende, there were court cases, but that did not prevent Speaker Marende from stepping in and making a decision of the House be known to the whole country. Mr. Speaker, first, the two parties were heard before the devolution committee, though there was inadequacy of time. I think one faction is of the view that they did not get adequate opportunity to present their case. But Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that is very simple. We are giving money to the county government of Nyamira. That confusion is creating an opportunity for those who want to siphon money from that county to do it in an easy way, Mr. Speaker. In fact, if we were to be candid, by now the CID, the EACC, should be camping in Nyamira. Some of the things that have happened in Nyamira needs an intervention that can lead to some people being sent to jail, Mr. Speaker. Because there is no way, Mr. Speaker, even if we disagree with His Excellency the President, there is no way, Mr. Speaker, you will wake up one day and gazette the sittings of this House to be held elsewhere. We fight here on this floor. Everybody knows where the precincts of the County Assembly of Nyamira are. The governor gazetted at the beginning of the term. And Chairman, I want you to be bold. You are here to serve the interests of the people of the greater county of Nyamira, not the impeached speaker, not the governor, not I as senator. But look at the interests of the people of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. If you have been impeached, you know it. We did impeach the governor for Meru. And she went to court and got an order. And we respected that order, Mr. Speaker. Once the court vacated the order, she left office, Mr. Speaker. In the case of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, and I'm sorry that even the COG is unable to grasp very mundane issues of law. The Speaker was impeached on the 24th of October. A resolution of the Assembly was brought before the committee, Mr. Speaker. Subsequent to the impeachment, the Speaker who was impeached moved to court, filed a case, petition number 1, before the Labor and Employment Court in Kisii, and sought conservatory orders from the court. The court heard him and made a pronouncement, Mr. Speaker, and said, we will not give you conservatory orders, serve and come back. Why is my chairman, senator, feeling jittery in just coming to report to the House that this is the situation, Mr. Speaker? If you go to court, you seek to get a conservatory order on a resolution passed by a House, and you don't get a conservatory order, what is the effect, Mr. Speaker? The effect is that you remain impeached. If you get an order from court, everybody, I included, will be bound by that decision, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that if the chair feels it is too hot for him, it can come back to the plenary of the Committee of the Whole, Mr. Speaker. But one way or another, Mr. Speaker, the people of Nyamira want to see how the Senate of the Republic of Kenya will pronounce itself, Mr. Speaker. And that's what I'm asking for from my colleague senators, that let us be a house that can be looked to by County Assembly or by the executives.
Okay, thank you. I think that's, you have been done very well. Chair, you made a commitment to give a progressive report next week. So let's wait for your report next week on Thursday.
My colleague explained to the gallery. He was with us actually in that meeting when we were meeting the members. A matter in the court, this committee does not have the jurisdiction to rule on matters in court. So what will happen is we are writing a report and we are seeking a legal interpretation from our legal department on how best we can approach this matter. And I've already said and pronounced here that we are going to bring our report on Thursday next week. So I think my colleague should be able to be patient with us, because Honorable, what's happened in that place is so wild. The former speaker was moved forcefully.
Do you want to be informed by Senator Mungo? Senator Julius Mungo?
I would like to inform my colleague that you can actually deal with a matter in court by reconciling the warring sections, and once they agree together, they pull that thing out. So the factions in Kisii can do it outside court and go to court and withdraw that case. I dealt with one today, which is going to benefit warring people.
The issue is in Nyamira County. Nyamira. So, Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuunga mkono kuchangia kwa taarifa iliyoletwa na seneta wa kutoka Isiolo Dulo kuhusu maafisa wakuu wa idara tofauti katika gatuzi ya Isiolo. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kuvunja moyo sana ikiwa kaunti ya Isiolo ama gatuzi ya Isiolo itakaa kwa muda wa zaidi ya miezi miwili bila maafisa wakuu, na maafisa wakuu ndio wanashughulikia utendakazi katika gatuzi ile kila siku, Bwana Spika. Na ni vizuri hasa gavana anayehusika, kwa sababu yule gavana, Bwana Spika, tumejua amekuwa kila wakati shida katika ile gatuzi, na kwa hivyo atilie maneno haya mkazo, kwa sababu Bwana Spika, sisi hatuwezi kuwa tunaleta hapa mgao wa pesa, tunashughulikia mgao wa pesa, lakini ukifika Isiolo unapata maafisa wakuu ambao wanapaswa kuhusika, Bwana Spika, hawajapewa, hatuna maafisa wale ambao wanapaswa kushughulikia lile jambo. Kwa hivyo inaonekana ile gatuzi itakuwa ikibaki nyuma, ama kutakuwa na shida nyingi baadaye, ama pengine governor ana mpango fulani wa kufuja pesa za gatuzi ya Isiolo. Bwana Spika, kwa upande wa Nyamira ni sijui, pengine kwa sababu mimi sikuweza kufuatilia katika walipokuwa hapa katika seneti, lakini niliona katika runinga, Bwana Spika, yale niliona ni ya kwamba walisema ya kwamba ati kikao kimoja cha bunge ya Nyamira wanaita bunge mashinani, Bwana Spika. Nikashindwa, waliiga vile ambavyo tunafanya sisi kama seneti, lakini waliiga visivyo, Bwana Spika. Waliiga visivyo, kwa sababu hauwezi ukagawanya bunge la Nyamira kukawa na bunge mbili. Bwana Spika, hilo si jambo la kufikiria. Namuomba mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ugatuzi katika seneti hii, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu nilikuwa mwenyekiti kwa muda wa miaka miwili muhula uliopita, lakini Bwana Spika, hatungekubali jambo kama hili litendeke. Tutakuwa tumezembea katika kazi yetu kama seneti. Tuache kumwekelea mzigo seneta wa sehemu ile peke yake. Tunapaswa sisi kusimama wima, tusimame kidete, tuseme hiyo haiwezekani, Bwana Spika. Hatuwezi kukubali kaunti ya Nyamira ikiwa imegawanyika mara mbili, Bwana Spika. Sisi tutalaumiwa, sio tu na watu wa Nyamira, tutalaumiwa katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, kwa sababu kazi yetu kubwa ni kutetea na kulinda gatuzi zetu, Bwana Spika. Na sisi tayari tumelemewa, ikiwa kaunti moja atinasikia kuna wengine wameketi sehemu fulani, wengine wameketi huko. Pesa ambazo tumetuma katika gatuzi ya Nyamira kwa bunge, Bwana Spika, zinalipwa nani sasa? Tunapaswa kujiuliza hilo swali gumu, na tusingoje ati mahakama ituambie vitakavyofanya. Hii ni kazi yetu, tunapaswa tuifanye kwa uwerendi na kwa ustadi, Bwana Spika, bila kuogopa. Bwana Spika, nashukuru kwa kunipa fursa hiyo. Asante.
Ili bunge inaweza amua uende kwa hiyo kamati kama mchezaji wa kulipwa. Senator Sifuna Edwin.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I came in when the debate was midway. I was at a funeral service. But I've caught some of the sentiments that have gone before me and the statement that was brought by the Senator for Isiolo. Honorable Speaker, some of the things when you hear, the things that are happening in our counties, they just infuriate you. It's impossible to believe that some county governors are running these institutions like they are personal fiefdoms. I personally encountered this situation of Nyamira that the Senator has spoken to. Honorable Speaker, I almost lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. He was there. I could not believe that a section of MCAs, in fact, we were told there were only 12 MCAs. And I personally have the list of those MCAs. I was shocked to find a member of ODM among those 12 MCAs. She's nominated by ODM. And it is a situation that is unacceptable. The bulk of the 12 MCAs are from the governor's own party. They're from the governor's own party. So he has set up a parallel house and he decides, because those are the people who come from his party, he's going to recognize only those ones who are from his party and they are sitting under a tree somewhere. He takes his budgets to them. Every communication is processed through them. When we're asking them, okay, so how many clerks do you have? Because there's only one clerk. There's a gazetted place where the assembly is supposed to sit. It's absolutely unbelievable. But I don't want to be persuaded. I cannot be persuaded that there's nothing this house can do. We are the ones with powers. We should stop all resources going to Nyamira until that issue is resolved, because we are presiding over an illegality. This house has options. Let us not appear like we are helpless. By the time that report comes, the chair of the devolution committee, I can see you smiling. If your report does not recommend stoppage of money to Nyamira, we will not accept it. We are preempting the work of that committee already. And don't tell us we don't have things we can do. In my own capacity as SG of ODM, I have made my members aware in Nyamira that we will not tolerate a situation where they are participating in an obvious illegality. Yes, I have said it. I have spoken to the leadership of WIPA. The SG of WIPA is here, Senator Shakila. Tell the members of WIPA who are participating in that kangaroo assembly that there will be consequences for you participating in an illegality. We as ODM are the believers, the founders, the people who brought devolution around. If we are fighting here for resources, every time Baba is saying we must give counties more money, we cannot be part of those shenanigans where instead of devolution coming to help the people of Nyamira, people are playing those small games there in the village and you have two parallel assemblies. It will not be accepted. This will not be the Senate that presides over such an illegality. Honorable Speaker, we know for a fact, when we sat with those MCAs, we were asking them, are there court orders? Are there any court orders on which these people are riding to, validate these sittings under a tree? And there is none. There is none. That's what I'm telling this House, that it is a shameful situation. And especially because we as believers in devolution, and we are the people who give these county assemblies money. Honorable Speaker, just yesterday, we were passing a law here as the Senate to give county assemblies financial independence. So we have passed that law, and it is because MCAs have been asking us, and it was brought by the Speaker, yourself, the Honorable Kathuri Murungi, the Senator for Meru. So, Speaker, if we tell Treasury to send money to Nyamira County Assembly, which assembly is the money going to? Which assembly is the money going to? So now that there is that financial autonomy, the next move should be this Senate to stop any disbursements to the county government of Nyamira and the county assembly of Nyamira, because we cannot tolerate such a situation. We look so bad as a country that such a situation can continue for long. And the Senator for Nyamira, you can count on me as your SG, as your colleague in this House, to ensure that we bring order to Nyamira. We must bring order to Nyamira. This is untenable. It is unacceptable. It is untenable. I am ready to make enemies. I am ready to make enemies. Mr. Speaker, if you know that nominated the MCA, when I call her, she tries to speak to me in our native language so that I can feel pity for her. I am very firm. I am ready to be, I'm ready to make enemies. But in the defense of devolution, there will be no tribe, there will be no party, there will be no nothing. We cannot have a situation such as that. And Senator for Nyamira, Senior Omogeni, please understand that I will deliver the entire machinery of ODM to ensure that we restore order. And don't be scared by the chair of devolution. There is something we can do and we will do it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, the statement hour, we are just 8 minutes to the statement hour, at the end of the statement hour, and then given 2 minutes each. Clerk, 2 minutes each to the members. Senator Kalenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and this statement by Senator Methu cannot be more timely. Mr. Speaker, the prevalence of autistic children in the recent past has skyrocketed, not just in Kenya, but globally. I know there is all sorts of theory attributing this prevalence that have been attributed to the rise of autism in the country and in the world. I don't want to dwell on that, Mr. Speaker, but there are challenges that the autistic community have to go through in the country and specifically in Kenya because of, for example, a lack of official data. We don't have a registry of autistic children in this country, and if the government was to intervene, what numbers are they going to be operating for? Mr. Speaker, we would want specialized approach to assist parents and families living with autism. We would like the government to intervene and have specialized training for the teachers and medical practitioners. We want the families of who are raising autistic children to know these are normal children and to accept them as they are. We need to have awareness to eliminate stigma. Mr. Speaker, we want families assisted, and we want to take this situation seriously. We are happy that this week the Senate has passed the People Living with Disabilities Bill, which recognizes autism as a mainstream disability.
Give her 30 seconds to finish that. 30 seconds to.
Thank you,
to swallow
Mr.
those
Speaker.
few ones.
So let me conclude by saying we need a mainstream department that will, given the numbers and the prevalent and the rising numbers, we need a department to deal with autism in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last but not the least, Senator Mazayo, Minority Rinda. Yeah, okay. Senator who is on this? Maybe the rest are not interested to speak to this. We have 2 minutes. Senator Gloria or Senator Chalgay. Next one.
Order number 8, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases. Resumption of debate, question to be put.
This, I wanted to ascertain whether we have numbers. I'm told we don't have the numbers. So we defer this order to the next sitting. Next order. Honorable Senators, looking at the business before us, from order number 9 to 14, we defer those divisions. We don't have numbers. We go to the next one after 14. Clerk.
Order number 15, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into personal security concerns raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Trans Nzoia County.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the report for the Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on personal security concerns raised by Hon Velemona Kapkori, Deputy Governor of Transair. Honorable Speaker, at the sitting of second
Chair, devolution, approach the table for some guidance.
Sorry?
Approach the table.
Honorable Speaker,
This statement, the response is dated 9th April. The chair is saying that the statement came 2 weeks after when I gave the question, or the statement for that matter. So the contradiction...
Are you disputing the dates or the facts?
No, what it says March as this month, and we're in April. The other issue I have is it says Sunday 23rd March is when installation and commissioning was completed. And
you are saying it is not?
Nothing is happening.
So Gikaria?
So I'm disputing, I'm thinking now this statement may be generated elsewhere other than from the CS. Because if the CS's signature is signed here, written, dated 9th April, and the chair is saying the response came 2 weeks after I gave the statement, which is around 26th, I'm confused, Honorable Speaker. Please give guidance on this. And I would like Honorable Bashir to support me in this because we come from the same county. Thank you.
Honorable Mulher, you have no right to solicit for support on anything you are doing on the floor.
Honorable Speaker, first, just for clarity, question number 1, which was asked, we have a table and it talks about the repairs and provisions of an extra generator will be in place by end of April 2025. That is about question number 1. On matters to do with question number 2, they had asked about the faulty, the immediate measures that would be put in place to replace the malfunctioning of the generators. And that is what the ministry is saying, that by 26th of March, the commissioning had already been done. So that is as far as the repairs as per the second question. That is by 26th of March, then it had already been, actually it says, on Sunday, March 23rd, 2025, installation and commissioning. And unless now she's saying that it has not been done, I want to believe what the ministry is saying is that they did the commissioning on the 26th of March 2025. As regards the statement coming yesterday, Honorable Chair, when I was told that this response was to be done today, I actually called the Waziri himself that we needed this. So as regards the dating, maybe there is some issues of the dates on the 9th of April, which I agree with the Honorable Chair. But I think on facts other than maybe the typos, is that is the information that we have, that the repairs have already been done. And what is just being awaited, it is on question number 2, subsection 2, they say that they have done the procurement, but due to importation of the parts, then the repair works might take a little bit or a while.
just because the parts are not found in Kenya. They have to be imported, and then the repairs will be done. But it's talking about different generators, not one. One has already been commissioned already. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Major Bashir.
Honourable Speaker, I want to agree with Honourable Mulkhair that the answers given is quite unsatisfactory. Honourable Speaker, as you speak, there is no power in Mandera town. And this started even way before the month of Ramadan started. Before we went on recess, I mentioned here that people don't have power, don't have even capacity to charge their phones. As you speak now, Kenya Power has actually not responded to the cries and the plight of the people of Mandera East. Even now, even in my own place in Ramu, they have started rationing. So what is the problem with Kenya Power, besides giving us this kind of write-ups? Mandera East requires 3 kVA, not 1.5. Even if they take another generator of 1.5, it will not be of any help. Honourable Speaker, I mentioned here that next to Mandera town, there's Bulahawa. They are using generators. They have never had even one single day of power rationing, simply because it's run by individuals. I think it's high time for independent power producers to be localized and be taken to the counties. Let every county engage and do it. Because as a county, we can ask Bulahawa to extend the power to Mandera East, to extend it to other parts of the county. It's unfortunate that Kenya Power is not ready. So I think we will call upon that let the people of Mandera East have power. If Kenya Power cannot extend, we should be allowed to go to Bulahawa, which is in Somalia, to bring power to the people of Mandera East. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, this issue of power in Mandera, Mr. Speaker, has been a problem since independence, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the county or the town there used to be served by independent power producers, which have served them for the last 30 years, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, those independent power producers were withdrawn without any reason. And then some Chinese generators were taken there. Sorry to say that, quote in quote. And I'm not saying they're substandard, but you know what I mean. So, Mr. Speaker, it is shameful that 60-something years since independence, certain parts of the country are not connected to the national grid, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what equalizes Kenyans today is issues like electricity, roads, healthcare, education. That area, the education is one thing. Teachers have left. There are no teachers there. Students there come here to Nairobi University by grace of God, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, 60-something years as a country, and we cannot connect 2 counties, Wajir and Mandera, to the national grid. And you know what? They are neighboring Ethiopia, which is selling very cheap power to Kenya, Mr. Speaker. You can connect them from Isiolo County, Meru County, you can connect them. But it looks like there is no focus. People maybe think there is no economic value for connecting them to the national grid, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, all the livestock that we eat in this country, all the livestock, all the meat that we consume in this country, Mr. Speaker, 80% come from that region. Mr. Speaker, Kenya is number 3 in Africa in terms of the number of livestock that the people own. They are number Nigeria and this other country, what is the name? Ethiopia, are the only ones who are ahead of it. With 30 million, Mr. Speaker, herds of animals, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is an urgent, this House must come to the rescue of those 2 counties. The monopoly of Kenya Power, Mr. Speaker, has destroyed those 2 counties. Every year I have been in this parliament for the last 3 terms, Mr. Speaker, people have been complaining about power in those 2 counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have to do something about it. We need to form even another committee to go and look into that matter, Mr. Speaker. Because I saw the member of parliament from Mandera on a lorry last month, Mr. Speaker, carrying 3 big generators. Just to be told after 1 month, they are not working. They are all over in TikTok, in social media. I think he's in the house here. He was sitting next to the co-driver. He was like a co-driver in a truck. He was telling people there are 3 generators on top of here, new ones. Literally, do you know that after 1 month, they're not going to work? After a week, actually. Not transformers, generators. Gensets, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you that this is a matter highly concerns our core values, core mandate of representation. The people of that area are suffering, and you know the way lack of power can stagnate economic growth, Mr. Speaker. You cannot build your house, you cannot weld a home, a door, a window, anything. You are in darkness.
You've made your point.
Mr. Speaker, why I'm doing all that is because I come from Migori, but my ancestors came from that county. So I'm trying to fight for them.
Member for Mandera East.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I thank my colleagues and my leader of minority for at least, discussing this matter in a very important, business of making it a very important business of the House. Mr. Speaker, the problem has been there in Mandera. We have been having this problem for quite some years. Unfortunately, it went worse when some generators that were there in Mandera were picked and taken to other parts of this country. It became worse. I followed this matter myself when the current CS, Waziri Opio Wandai, was appointed. They have tried their best. This was a problem that was there with Kenya Power, but Waziri and the BS and the CS and the CEOs called me in a meeting. We have discussed, we have agreed, we have taken 3 generators now. In fact, one was taken 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, it is not enough. It is not enough as it is now, but we have agreed in a meeting that they are going to give it to Encom, a company, a private-owned company, 7 more megawatts. We have already agreed in a meeting. I really appreciate what the CS and the BS and his CEOs, that is Engineer Siror and Madam CEO Rerek, Madam Dr. Ross. We have already agreed that they are going to take those generators in the next 3 weeks. But unfortunately, the problem has been there. People were going to Bulhawa, the next town in Somalia, for even, cold water. That is not there right now. We have rationing, but it is not as worse as it was during Ramadan time. We expect the ministry to move very fast so that they can deliver those generators as quickly as possible, so that the people of Mandera can no longer have issues of blackout and rationing. Mandera is the headquarter. Mandera town, Mr. Speaker, is the headquarter of Mandera County. And that is where businesses of Mandera County is. Unfortunately, when there is no power, nothing goes on. What I really appreciate, and I thank the CS and the BS, is that they are doing something. They have already called the CEOs, and they have agreed to give me 7 more megawatts. I urge them to move very fast. The other thing is that Kentraco announced that they are going to get power from Dolo town in Ethiopia. When the president visited Mandera, he assured us, Mr. Speaker, kindly give me your eyes, your ears and your eyes. When the president visited Mandera, he assured us that the nearest grid is from Ethiopia, and that is Dolo town.
Waitan, you've made your point.
Yes.
You've made your point that the contestations from your colleagues are not entirely factual. As area MP, you have different facts. What I'll direct is Gikaria, get all the facts together and sit with your colleagues from Mandera and explain to them what the ministry is doing and where there are gaps, how you are narrowing them, so that the people of Mandera can also enjoy the facilities other Kenyans enjoy. You can do that in the course of next week. Next, Stephen Mogaka's request, Chair Transport. Chair Transport to request by Stephen Mogaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to respond to the statement requested by Honorable Stephen Mogaka. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mogaka in the statement indicated that the roads in West Mugirango constituency have been in dire need of upgrading to bitumen standards for over 15 years but continue to be ignored. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Mogaka therefore requested for the following information. 1, report detailing all roads that have been approved for upgrading to bitumen standards in Nyamira County and specifically in West Mugirango constituency and the status of construction. 2, measures being taken by government including affirmative action to address the disparities in road construction, development, infrastructure development in constituencies. And 3, the long-term plans being implemented to rehabilitate and expand critical roads in Nyamira County. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 26 March 2025, which I now wish to make. 1, regarding the report detailing all roads that have been approved for upgrading to bitumen standards in Nyamira County and specifically in West Mugirango constituency, including the status of construction, the ministry submitted that there are currently no ongoing projects for upgrading roads to bitumen standards in West Mugirango constituency under KERA. 2, the ministry through KERA has, however, received stakeholder requests for roads linking the constituency to be upgraded to bitumen standards and is in the process, after which they shall be prioritized for construction alongside other similarly critical road links countrywide, subject to the provision of the requisite budgets. 3, all roads under KENHA within Nyamira County are to be upgraded to bitumen standards. However, there are currently no roads that have been approved for upgrading to bitumen standards in West Mugirango constituency. 4, KENHA is currently maintaining the following roads within the Nyamira County. 1, Kisii Nyaramba B4 Road. 2, Nyaramba Chemosit B4 Road. 3, Kadogo Nyamira Siamani B5 Road. 4, Kibirigo Keroka B5 Road. Keroka Nyagusu B5 Road. Kisii Kaprang B6 Road. Charbera Ikonge B133 Road. And lastly, Ikonge Chepilat B133 Road. Regarding the measures being taken by the government, including affirmative action to address the disparities in road construction, infrastructure development in the constituency, the ministry submitted that planning of construction of roads is informed by several factors, including prevailing government policies, the Road Sector Investment Plan, that is RSIP, and continuous shareholder engagement. Within these frameworks are inbuilt mechanisms to prioritize areas that lack adequate infrastructure, such as roads. In addition, the government has operationalized affirmative action measures in the road sector, including the Equalization Fund, that are aimed at addressing disparities in road development. Further, the ministry is committed to the active involvement of all stakeholders towards finding holistic solutions to historic disparities in provision of road infrastructure in different parts of the country. 7, regarding the long-term plan being implemented to rehabilitate and expand critical roads in Nyamira County, the ministry submitted that through KERA, it continues to maintain critical link roads in Nyamira County through provision of a 10% road maintenance levy fund. To this end, the ministry has allocated a total of 19 million Kenya shillings for maintenance of critical link roads in Nyamira under 10% RMLF. And lastly, under KENHA, continuous maintenance of roads under performance-based contracting within will ensure roads remain in good condition for extended periods, and also collaboration with the county government with regards to roads that interact with KENHA roads, e.g. development of non-motorized transport within Nyamira town. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chairman, for that statement. The only true thing about that statement, Mr. Speaker, is that there are no tarmac roads ongoing in West Mogrango constituency. And Mr. Speaker, sadly, West Mogrango constituency is the headquarters of Nyamira County, and the entire municipality of Nyamira County sits in West Mogrango constituency. So I cannot understand, or the people of West Mogrango, Mr. Speaker, cannot understand how then there can be no tarmac within the municipality or the constituency that houses the county. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, in answering, the chairman of the Roads Committee has misled this House that all roads under KENHA within Nyamira County are tarmacs. Mr. Speaker, road number 4, which the committee chair has cited, which runs from Kebirigo Market to Keroka, that road is under KENHA. But there is a bridge that crosses River Gucha that has never been tarmacked. And remember, this tarmac was put more than 15 years ago when the Right Honorable Prime Minister was the Minister for Roads, because that was the last time tarmac road was seen in West Mogrango. So through you, Mr. Speaker, I want to request the chairman to look at what happened with the money for the bridge, because that road was constructed more than 15 years ago. The contractor was discharged from site, yet that bridge has never been done to date. And what measures is the chairman going to take to ensure that that road, at least that road, is done? Further,
Enough.
Mr. Speaker.
Enough.
Further, Mr. Speaker,
you are supposed to seek a clarification. You are making a speech. Yes.
I'm drawing to the attention of the chairman that he has been misled by the committee to make a statement that a certain road is tarmacked. It has a portion that is not tarmacked, and that is what I'm asking for. And I beg that affirmative action be done through you, Mr. Speaker, for the very bad roads in the constituency to be upgraded to tarmac. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman. GK.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hear Honorable Mogaka is not satisfied with the response, and Honorable Speaker, we will seek a supplementary response and address his supplementary question.
Thank you.
From the Minister.
Can you give him additional information by end of next week?
Yes, we'll give him additional information.
George Gashagwa, MP Ndarakwa. Honorable George Gashagwa. Is he in the house? Go ahead, George. Sorry, Chairman, can you respond?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to give response to the statement requested by Honorable George Gachagua. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable George Gachagua sought to, among other things, establish plans for installing properly designed and clearly marked speed bumps at the strategic points along the Nyahururu-Nyeri Road, particularly in the Equator area, Mununga stretch, and the other identified high-risk zones. 2, the measures being undertaken to enhance road safety through the installation of proper signage, reflective markers, and other visual aids to ensure optimal visibility and adequate warning to road users, especially during nighttime and adverse weather conditions. And 3, the timelines for the implementation of these road safety improvements, including completion dates for the installation of speed bumps, warning signs, and associated road safety infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 20th March 2024, which I now wish to make. 2025, Honorable Speaker. Regarding the plans for installing properly designed and clearly marked speed bumps at strategic points such as Nyahururu-Nyeri Road, particularly in the Equator area, Mununga stretch, and other identified high-risk zones, I wish to respond that the Ministry, through the Kenya National Highway Authority, has engaged contractors for routine maintenance along the Nyahururu-Nyeri Road. Additionally, Kenya has assessed the section at Equator and Mununga stretch and noted that these sections require road marking for bumps. Consequently, the contractors have been instructed to remark the bumps as specified in the scope of works. 2, on the measures being undertaken to enhance the road safety through the installation of proper signage, diffractive markers, and other visual aids to ensure optimal visibility and adequate warning to road users, especially during nighttime and adverse weather conditions. The Ministry has submitted that the contractors on the site have been instructed to implement additional safety measures, including the installation of guardrails with SWAFREX reflectors and the erection of traffic signs and the marking of center lines. 3, however, the Ministry added that they continue to face challenges with the vandalism of newly installed traffic signs, SWAFREX reflectors on rail guards and other stands. 4, on the timelines for implementation of these road safety improvements, including completion dates for the installation of speed bumps, warning signs, and associated road safety infrastructure, the Ministry submitted that the implementation of these road safety improvements is currently underway as part of the ongoing routine maintenance works. The works were expected to be completed by end of March 2025, but as indicated, this has not been completed and is expected to be completed soon. The committee will engage the Ministry on this matter to ensure that this road and other roads across the country are safe for all road users. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Honorable Gachagua, you satisfied?
Mr. Speaker, I'm not satisfied. My statement mainly concerned the bumps at Equator area near Wakongo Center. But the statement, the response addresses more on reflective issues for visibility. Mr. Speaker, if my statement could be read well. I have actually asked for bumps at that particular place, but the response addresses more on visibility. And there's also this issue of vandalism. Vandalism, I am wondering, Mr. Speaker, can bumps be stolen? I wish they are installed, because I have had a lot of problems in this stretch, along this stretch. So, Mr. Speaker, if you look even at the dates, I think the ministry misled the chairman, the committee chairman, by saying that there are some routine maintenance going on.
Honorable Kashagwa, you're right. GK, as the chair, the question was so simple, but I heard you go at a total tangent on matters that have not been canvassed. The question is, are you going to put bumps on this road? It's as simple as that. Nyahururu Nyeri Road needs bumps. And he's right, you talked about vandalize. You can't vandalize a bump, can you?
I totally agree with the Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Bumps cannot be vandalized, and
Yes.
so we will engage the ministry to get a better response. But they have indicated that they are committed to installing the bumps. So they are
Yes.
not opposed to fixing speed bumps.
Okay. Honorable Gashagwa, are you okay with that?
Maybe, Mr. Speaker, we get the timelines, because it has been long overdue.
Honorable Chair of the committee, how long will you take to put or to erect those bumps?
We will liaise with the ministry, Honorable Speaker, and ensure that those bumps are fixed within a period of not more than a month.
So in a month's time, bring us a progress report.
I will, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. George, is that all right? Yes, you are both George. I'm asking George the questioner. Okay.
Speaker, it's okay.
Thank you. Majority Leader, your Thursday statement. Majority Leader, you are making peace with Ngogoyo. Your Thursday statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ngogo is my very good friend. So I'm not only making peace, but convincing him to see the light. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 8th April 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. The second reading of the following bills, should they not be concluded today: 1, the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill of 2025; 2, the Learners with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 4 of 2023; 3, the Treaty Making and Ratification Amendment Bill number 2 of 2024; 4, the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill of 2023; and the National Cohesion and Integration Bill of 2023. In addition, the House will prioritize consideration of the following of the motion on Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates, and special motions on consideration for nominees for appointment to public or state offices. Further, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the following Cabinet Secretaries are scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 16th April 2025, to respond to questions as follows. 1, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning will appear to provide an update on the status of the disbursement of funds under the NGCDF Fund for the financial year 2024-2025, raised in the House during the sitting of Tuesday, 8th April 2025, by the member for Bumula, the Honorable Jack Wamboka. In addition, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning is also scheduled to respond to the following questions. Question number 008 of 2025 by the member for Wundanyi, Honorable Danson Mwashakwa, MP, regarding delays in processing payments for retirees in the country by the Pensions Department. And 2, question number 009 of 2025 by the member for Emuhaya Honorable Mboko Milemba, CBS MP, regarding details on the medical capitation funds meant for teachers' medical scheme in the country. 2 is the Cabinet Secretary for Health, who will respond to the following questions. Question number 017 of 2025 by the member for Oyata Honorable Robert Basil, MP, regarding reasons why Kenyans are required to register for the Social Health Insurance Fund despite formally contributing to the National Health Insurance Fund. 2, question 047 of 2025 by the member for Malindi Honorable Amina Mnyazi, MP, regarding measures undertaken by the government to address the impact of the withdrawal of USAID funding in the country. 3, question number 048 of 2025 by the member for Ndebes, Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose, MP, regarding provision of a detailed report on tender number GF/ATM/HIV/NFM 2023/2024 OIT 5 on the supply of sure lubricated dotted condoms manufactured by MS Indus Medicare Private Limited, awarded to MS Reddy's Pharma. I can see the Honorable Pukosa is here. 4, question number 049 of 2025 by the nominated member Honorable Irene Mayaka, MP, regarding steps taken by the government to address vaccines shortages and ensure uninterrupted immunization services. 5 is question number 050 of 2025 by the member for Kirinyaga, Honorable Joseph Gitari, MP, regarding reasons why the administrator of the National Police Service Medical Insurance Scheme, MS Medical Administrators Kenya Limited, MAKL, does not allow its beneficiaries to choose their preferred hospitals for medical services. 6 is question number 051 of 2025 by the member for Manyata, Honorable Gitonga Mukunji, regarding non-operationalization of the Rehabilitation Fund as established under Section 53 of the Narcotics, Drugs, and Psychotropic Substances Control Act, Cap 245. And 7 is question number 052 of 2025 by the member for Nyandarua County, Honorable Faith Getao, CBS MP, regarding measures undertaken by the ministry to secure affordable treatment for multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis, considering its more challenging and prolonged treatment regime. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the House business will reconvene again on Tuesday, 15 April 2025, to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Did you notice your mention of Dr. Bukose's question put a broad smile on the face of the member for Homa Bay?
Very broad, Honorable Speaker. I know it is sure condoms. I don't know what is, but you know, condom use in Homa Bay at one point was one of the counties that had very low use of condoms. But following a lot of civic education, which the member from Homa Bay was a keen participant in that civic education, the use of condoms in Homa Bay County has become prevalent, and this has reduced the infectious sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV/AIDS.
Was it
in Homa Bay
education
County.
in theory or in practice?
At one point, we had nicknamed him Akuku Danger.
Next order. Yes, Honorable Junet.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to seek your indulgence before I react to the issue of Homa Bay. Mr. Speaker, you know it's unreligious to use condom. I don't know that the majority is aware of that. It's unreligious. The religion don't allow condoms. Even Catholic, even Islam, you are supposed to abstain. You're not supposed to use condom. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, that's on a light note. Abstinence, Mr. Speaker. That's what the religion. Yeah, condom should be banned so that you don't do anything. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to seek your indulgence, Mr. Speaker. There is an issue, Mr. Speaker, concerning the bicameral operation of the Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, last week, was it this week or this week, on Tuesday, we debated the motion that contained the bill that was returned back by the Senate to the National Assembly, which contained amendments that had negated the purpose of the whole bill, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, also the Supreme Court has done a historic ruling on this matter. And this matter has been pending since the inauguration of the new constitution, because nobody knew the demarcations between the two houses, Mr. Speaker, and every house wanted to do the work of the other house. Especially the Senate wanted to do more work that belongs to the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, my request to you is that for the benefit and for posterity and for the benefit of this House going forward, Mr. Speaker, so that we know where our boundaries reach, where our beacons are, Mr. Speaker, I wish to request you to give a communication, Mr. Speaker, to the House, which goes on record, outlining the issues that have been decided in the Supreme Court ruling, Mr. Speaker, so that it becomes now very clear that the Speaker has issued communication that every member can refer to, Mr. Speaker. So it is my wish that this is going to be one of the most important pronouncement and communication that the speakers will have made in this year, Mr. Speaker, because it is a very, very important matter, and I'm happy that the Supreme Court had made its decision. And as you are aware, the case was taken to court by the Senate, not by the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I request that you seek you allow or you consider my request for you to give a communication on that matter so that we can use it as a reference, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to support the request by the leader of minority, even as we communicate that, and I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, you'll indicate that this House's caucus on legislation, litigation, and related matters was seized of this matter upon your convention, and that the matter was actually referred to the caucus for consideration. But that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, I think it is still possible for you to issue a communication on the decision of the Supreme Court, because it is quite direct and it's very specific on the legislation that was brought and was challenged, and it might be indicative and guide the House moving forward. I think the initial confusion had been caused somewhere around 2013, when an advisory opinion had been sought of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court made a statement that sweepingly suggested that virtually every legislation must concern a county, because every part of the country is part of a county. And I think that created a confusion that has lasted almost 10 years. So it is very good that the Supreme Court finally clarified that it is not every piece of legislation that must go to the Senate, because not every piece of legislation concerns counties. So I would support a communication to that effect, because it would help us. Importantly, and it's of interest to this House, that the Supreme Court did address itself to the question of the NG-CDF Act 2015, which was part of the legislation that was challenged on the basis that it did not go to the Senate. And the Supreme Court was very clear that it did not need to go to the Senate, and to that extent it was not unconstitutional. That has direct relevance to matters we are litigating, and we will not talk about the merit, but it is important to note, because many people had thought that the Supreme Court had pronounced itself on the NG-CDF Act as amended in 2022 and declared it unconstitutional, not knowing that the only pronouncement that had been made was on the initial NG-CDF Act as it existed in 2013. And so it is also helpful because it's educative to Kenyans. It is helpful to judicial officers who are considering this to know that it is not true that the current NG-CDF Act was ever declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. But with that, Mr. Speaker, I support an idea of a communication. Thank you.
Oundo, on the same issue?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 clearly demarcated the roles of the two chambers of Parliament. And it was always hoped and believed that the very senior members, so-called senior members who sit in the Senate, will be the first people to protect the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Fourth schedule, likewise, Honorable Speaker, set out the mandate of each level of government. I want to raise this to support the sentiments by my leader, and as you issue that communication, Honorable Speaker, go all your way to clearly demarcate where can government officers report to. Should they be called to Senate to answer on matters that are exclusively a national government matter? Can they just be called by anybody to go and do literally nothing? Honorable Speaker, when you meet quite a number of these accounting officers, they complain bitterly. They are always called upon to go to Senate to answer on matters that has got nothing to do with the county governments, with the devolution at all. So in that way of communication, Honorable Speaker, we request and beseech you to lay the law very clear so that we avoid this confusion, duplication, and essentially one-time waste of public time to answer the same question repeatedly from this end to this end. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, George Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, indeed that request is actually timely. The reason being that what the Senate does and continues to do is actually in total breach of our Constitution. Just the other day, they had summoned the judiciary to go and answer questions, I don't know on what. Really? Can the Senate summon the judiciary to answer questions on matters that do not touch on county governments? And how does the judiciary have matters touching on county governments? I think when you go into this elaborate communication, consider also whether that was within their purview or this is the imaginative power they are giving to themselves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Gishimu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I add my voice to the request done by Honorable Junet, the demarcation between the mandate of the National Assembly and the Senate is already there in the Constitution, Article 95 and Article 96, respectively. Honorable Speaker, as you also give this communication, if you are persuaded to, my only worry is that whether your communication would also be binding on the other House of Parliament. But be as it may, that communication is also good for the public consumption so that it can be known which House of Parliament is abdicating or transgressing or trespassing into the other House of Parliament, because the Constitution, as is written, cannot be changed, has not been changed. And until unless that is done, then we have to maintain our lanes in terms of legislative oversight and representation. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Junet. I'll do so within the next 2 weeks. Next order.
Order number 9, the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2025, second reading, resumption of debate.
Who was on the floor? There was nobody on the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I'm standing under Standing Order 95 to call that the mover be called to reply. This and the money laundering and the combating of terrorism financial laws amendment bill, we deliberated yesterday and even up to late in the night, in the evening. And I think we also have other pending business, and I would request that members allow that the mover be called to reply so that we can transact the other business on approval of the PSS. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, is that the mood of the House? Then mover, Majority Leader, who moved the motion? It's under your name. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity first to thank all the members who have contributed on this bill on the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill, Bill number 5 of 2025. Honorable Speaker, as we said when the Chief Whip move this bill on my behalf. This is a bill that seeks first to create equity and fairness in the financial services sector, to ensure that what is being done within the banking sector, insurance companies, and all the other financial sector services, the same is done even within our SACCO societies and other money handling agencies in the country. True, Honorable Speaker, I listened to quite a number of contributions and keenly, including the contribution by the member for Homa Bay, who is a very ardent debater in this House. And many of the concerns, Honorable Speaker, that were raised, including issues touching on regulations that will come before this House, are issues that we have agreed with the chair of the committee that these are issues that we can look into. And if in any case, there are no regulations that will ever take effect in law without being approved by this House, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, just to convince members of this House and Kenyans at large that there is really nothing much to worry about. You remember, Honorable Speaker, when we first passed the Anti-Money Laundering Act about 2 or 3 years ago, the same fears were expressed in this House, and I remember in the last Parliament, we had similar fears being expressed, especially around the profession of lawyers. At that time, lawyers were up in arms against the law. But this law having been in effect, it has helped the country in ensuring that we stem the scourge of money laundering, not just locally, but in the region. It's sad, Honorable Speaker, that our country was grey-listed last year, or about 2 years ago, and this is part of the measures that were agreed on, the changes that need to be effected within our laws, and further strengthening our Anti-Money Laundering Act to help combat not just money laundering and the flow of illicit financing, not just for terrorism, but even for narcotics, Honorable Speaker. And we must come out as a nation within this region, as a nation that is at the forefront in combating money laundering, especially around terrorism financing, because of our proximity to countries that where there are active terrorism cells. Then we become a nation of a country of interest to many people around the world, and therefore it's important that we continue to strengthen these laws. Honorable Speaker, I know again there have been fears that have been expressed by members in contributing around SASTRA and the regulatory agency that regulates our SACCOs. Just to give you assurance again, just like happened with lawyers, there is no time SASTRA will come and superintend over your money. SASTRA regulates the SACCOs. For instance, PACOSO or Bunga SACCO. SASTRA does not regulate my money in PACOSO or in Bunga SACCO. It regulates the SACCOs themselves. And therefore, all the regulations that will come to the House, and as I emphasize, those regulations must come here for approval. Those regulations will be to regulate the SACCOs so that we are able to stem money laundering even within the SACCO sector, because it has also been identified as a major conduit for money laundering and terrorism financing, Honorable Speaker. And with that, I beg to move and urge all your support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to reply.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Pauline, take the nearest seat. Thank you, honorable members. I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorism Financing Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2025, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next, sorry.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to anti-money laundering and combating of terrorism financing and proliferation of financing and for connected purposes. Order number 10, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services.
Chair, Committee on Health. Dr. Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move that take into consideration the findings from the Departmental Committee on Health in its report on the vetting of nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Principal Secretary, State Department for the Ministry of the Constitution approves the appointment of Dr. Frederick Uma Oluga as the Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, Ministry of Health. Honorable Speaker, following your communication on Wednesday, March 26, 2025, and conveyed to the House the message from His Excellency the President, and subsequently referred the name of the nominee curricular vitae Public Service Commission report on his recruitment to respective committee for approval hearing. While referring to the matter to the committee, you directed that the committee undertake the vetting exercise within 28 days under Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Cap 7F, and reports be ready for tabling on or before 22nd of April 2025. Honorable Speaker, you further directed that the Clerk of the National Assembly to notify the nominee and general public by placing adverts in the 2 newspapers of nationwide circulation and parliamentary website of the time and the place of holding the approval of hearings by Friday, 4th April 2025. In accordance with Section 6(9) of the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, the Clerk of the National Assembly invited interested members of the public to submit any representation by written statements on oath or affidavits with supporting evidence on the suitability of the nominee for the appointment to the position which no memorandum was received for and against the nominee. Honorable Speaker, the committee conducted the approval hearing on Friday, 4th April 2025. In conducting the approval hearing, the committee was guided by the provisions of the Constitution, the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approvals Act, Cap 7F, the Leadership Integrity Act, Cap 185C, the Public Officer Ethics Act, Cap 185B, the Public Service Commission Act, Cap 185, and the National Assembly Standing Orders. Honorable Speaker, following the committee's deliberations and analysis of the submissions and presentation received on the suitability of the nominee for appointment to the position, the committee observed that Dr. Frederick Uma Oluga, OGW, demonstrated requisite knowledge and experience to perform the functions of the position for Principal Secretary for the State Department of Medical Services, Ministry of Health. He further met all statutory and constitutional requirements to perform the functions of the position. Honorable Speaker, the committee, having considered the suitability, competence, experience, and integrity of Dr. Oluga Frederick Uma, OGW, following the approval process and taking into consideration its observations and findings, and pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution, Sections 3, 5, and 8(2) of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, the National Assembly Standing Orders, Senate Standing Orders, recommend that the Parliament approves the nomination of Dr. Oluga Frederick Uma, OGW, to the position of Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, Ministry of Health. Honorable Speaker, Dr. Oluga was interviewed by the committee on the date mentioned and responded to questions during the sittings as follows. Dr. Oluga Frederick Uma is a Kenyan citizen of national identity card number 23797977 born in Bondo, Siaya in 1984, and he bears no other citizenship. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Olugba has a requisite academic qualifications. He holds a Master of Degree of Medicine, MEd, in Internal Medicine from the University of Nairobi School of Medicine. He also holds a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery from the University and School of Medicine, or Moi University School of Medicine. He acquired the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education from Maranda High School, where he scored A's. Mr. Speaker, in addition, Dr. Luga presented several professional certifications gained locally and internationally in labor movement, in health labor union leadership, in governance locally and abroad, in disease management, in dangerous pathogens control management. Mr. Speaker, the nominee actually is very highly qualified for the positions that we're looking for. His work experience is equally impressive, and currently is the director, he was acting director and head of Directorate of Health Sector Coordination and Research Development at the Ministry of Health. He has also served in the same ministry at Deputy Director of Health, and also he has served as Director of Health Services at the Nairobi Metropolitan Services. I think we are all aware. And there he actually spearheaded strategic thinking that actually resulted in the implementation of and a construction of several hospitals with the idea of actually relieving congestion that's a big problem at Kenyatta National Hospital. He is also a co-founder and co-chair of the Health Workers for All Coalition. And this is an international organization where he has mobilized global workforce advocacy, securing considerable sums of money to fund the coalition. Mr. Speaker, the nominee is actually very, very experienced, and he further informed the committee that he was also the secretary and the CEO of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists Dentists Union, which gives him experience in the management of labor issues in the workshop. We know how we are affected by this issue in the health sector. And when we questioned him further on this, he said he has actually managed this, and during his leadership of the union, they had only one strike, and he actually believes in dialogue and solving these problems instead of street actions. Also, Mr. Speaker, he has also served as Registrar Internal Medicine at Kenyatta National Hospital. So his experience is actually really profound. He's also a member of the professional associations, and he is a Kenya Medical Association, the union I've already talked about, and he's also, this is important, a designated health practitioner with the Directorate of Occupational Health. That is actually industrial health. And he's been awarded, okay, I will make a summary. He's been awarded the Grand Warrior, the Order of the Grand Warrior in this country. Now, he met all the clearance requirements for the Kenya Revenue Authority, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, the Director of Criminal Investigation, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, and Health. And he has indicated he has no conflict of interest or no potential conflict of interest, except that he runs a consultancy in occupational health, which he indicates he has actually resigned from that. And when we actually interviewed him on actually very current issues in the ministry, healthcare financing, the issue of social health insurance. He had a fairly profound knowledge of the structure, the health financing mechanism and the systems, and he had very good recommendations on how we can move forward and get the Social Health Authority working. And he understands the need for primary health care, which actually saves money for the country, and he has actually established 47 primary care networks. So somebody asked about maternal health. He has proposed a transfer system for mothers who are in labor. So in all, Mr. Speaker, this is a very well-rounded professional. His academic qualifications are actually up to date. His experience is up to date. When we asked him about his net worth,
the Honorable Dr. Nyikal, the Chair, Departmental Committee on Health, the report of the committee is in the House, and the indication I'm getting from the House is that they appear to have read everything you are telling us. So would you kindly...
Therefore, the committee, having considered all the report that we have all read, that we are aware of, therefore considered the suitability and capacity and integrity of the nominee, and pursuant to Section 2 of the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval Act, the committee recommends that the National Assembly approves the appointment of Dr. Frederick Ouma Oluga, OW, to the position of Principal Secretary, State Department of Medical Services. And Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and ask Honorable Patrick Munene to second.
Honorable Patrick Munene.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I don't want to say so many things after my chairman has gone through the whole report, the committee's report. I will just say three key things about Dr. Oluga. One, Dr. Oluga was a student at Marada High School where he scored a plane. Two, Dr. Oluga has worked with Nairobi Metropolitan Services as in charge of all the services. Three, Dr. Oluga has been a deputy director at the Ministry of Health. In the same ministry he has been appointed. And also Dr. Oluga currently has been a director at the Ministry of Health. So I want to assure Kenyans that we've got somebody who has experience, who knows the ministry. Dr. Oluga has been involved in laying the primary health care networks in this country. All the 47 of them, in all the 47 counties, he was the one in charge in the ministry when all these primary care networks were created. And finally, there's somebody who has been the CEO of the Kenya Medical and Practitioners Union. And most of the times the ministry finds itself in a dark place with the KMPDU. And Dr. Oluga, having been their CEO, having worked with the doctors, he has worked in the union side and he has worked with the executive side as a director in the medical services. So there's a qualified candidate who I'm really sure that will do well for the health of this country. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I propose the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Health in its report on the vetting of nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution, approves the appointment of Dr. Oluga Frederick Ouma, OGW, as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, Ministry of Health. The Honorable Otiende Amolo.
Mike, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this. Dr. Oluga is from my constituency. So surely you must allow me to speak about my constituent. And he's not just from my constituency. He's from a village called Okela. And he went to school in an ordinary primary school called Okela, which is neighboring to my school, which was called Chianda. And like me, he excelled and went to Maranda, where I also went, and I'm the patron of the old boys.
And like me, he topped his class and went to study medicine. Me, I went to study law. Surely you must allow me to talk about such a man. Mr. Speaker, the only thing I need to add are only two things. One, in terms of experience, both the mover and the second have talked about it. But let me add a few things that are not clear there. One, Dr. Umoluga also served as a medical officer of health in Vihiga County. So he has also had the experience of working in what you'd call, rural or semi-rural Kenya. Dr. Umoluga has also served as a lecturer in medicine. That may not have come out. Dr. Umoluga was not only the CEO of the Kenya Medical Dentists and Practitioners Union, but he was also the Secretary General. Now that is important because you will remember in his time, Dr. Umoluga led the longest strike of doctors in this country, lasting 1 year. At a time we are having problems with people in that profession, I think none is more suitable than a person like that to bridge that relation between the practitioners and government. But lastly, it is also important to mention that when he was serving as registrar at the Kenyatta National Hospital, he served in the biggest hospital. But more lately, he's been director in charge of the health sector coordination. Now, in that capacity, he has interacted not just with the counties, but also with the partners. And so he knows the terrain. Mr. Speaker, at a time we are having all sorts of issues with SHA and SHIF, none is more suited to help us navigate this conundrum than Dr. Frederick Ouma Oluga. I support, Mr. Speaker.
The minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, you know, our colleagues on the other side are wondering why we want to contribute. They expect us just to approve. I want to tell them that we want to take pride in the kind of experts we are sending to government as ODM, Mr. Speaker. The kind of people that we are sending to this government, Mr. Speaker, to help this government, Mr. Speaker. Look at the type of Dr. Ouma Oluga, Frederick, Mr. Speaker. Where else could they have found him other than ODM, Mr. Speaker? So that's why I had to take time to speak, because, Mr. Speaker, you know, they may just see it, take it for granted that we are sending people there. We are sending serious people, people of high caliber, people of high standard, Mr. Speaker. And you can see, Mr. Speaker, since the broad-based government started, and we started sending experts to this government, the face of this government has changed, Mr. Speaker. People take this government more serious than any other time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and that, I know, majority leader will agree with me, because he is part of the mechanics who are bringing this broad-based thing together, Mr. Speaker. The majority leader is playing a big role, Mr. Speaker. He knows, and he normally checks when we bring serious people, and he tells me, Junet Mafundi, that you are bringing the right people to government. Mr. Speaker, look at what is happening in this government after the broad-based. The government just looking up. Healthcare is being reformed. Education is being reformed. Energy is being reformed. Treasury now. The economy is looking up. The economy, look, the inflation has gone down. The interest rates have gone down, Mr. Speaker. There's a lot of confidence in the economy because of sending an expert like John Badingongo, our former chairman of our party, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have joined these, we have come together in this broad base to help our country, to make sure that our country succeeds. That's why we want to have people like Ouma Oluga in the health ministry. And you know, this parliament has changed all the laws pertaining to health. We have brought, digital healthcare, Mr. Speaker. You need serious people now, like Ouma Oluga, to handle that thing. SHA. Mr. Speaker, I am a very proud man today as a Kenyan. I never thought one day Ouma Oluga will get a chance to exercise the kind of knowledge he has, Mr. Speaker. I used to admire him when he was the KPMDU Secretary General, a young man who was self-made, a young man who grew up in this country, participated in every aspect of healthcare in this country. NMS, built hospitals in Kijijis, Mr. Speaker, you remember, when he was the secretary, the PS of NMS, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge members to take ODM more serious. We have more experts. If you want more experts, please write to me as the minority leader, and I will take it to Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. We have more experts in law, in healthcare, in engineering, in water, in all kinds of things, Mr. Speaker. We are a think tank full of experts, Mr. Speaker. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I must get I must get the rights to brag because experts are coming from ODM. What do you mean, Mr. Pokose, Dr. Pokose? Thank you very much.
You know the Honorable Majority Leader takes precedence. Take back your seat. Please sit down. Take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable Member. The Majority Leader will be heard in silence. Total silence.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the nomination of, or rather the appointment of the nominee as Principal Secretary, Dr. Oluga Ouma Frederick. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to get into the debate of whether he's an expert from ODM or not. Dr. Oluga is a Kenyan and a very professional young Kenyan. Very competent, and I have known him since his days in the union. And I think at one point he also served at Nairobi City County as a CEC or a chief officer, I can't remember. And he's a man who is very professional. Honorable Speaker, as much as the Leader of Minority says they are giving experts to this government, these experts are Kenyans. And the Leader of Minority will agree with me, they are equally competent experts in UDA. But His Excellency the President purposed to broaden the base. And as the Honorable Junet says, there have been many fundis in broadening the base. Because for a base to be broad and firm, it needs fundis who will fix to ensure that you have a strong base where good professionals like Dr. Oluga and others can sit in and serve Kenyans. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Junet, having been one of the fundis, knows that there are very good experts within ODM, even within the other political parties. I am sure this professional is not, may not want to be seen as a member of any political party. And in fact, it is one of the requirements that they declare whether they are officials of political parties. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with any Kenyan being a member of a political party, because people have political affiliation, including professionals. Yes. Even cabinet secretaries have cabinet affiliation. And therefore, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a nominee being a member of a political party. The only thing the law does not allow them to do is to hold office in political parties or to conduct their work in public office in a partisan manner. And therefore, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of your political affiliation, serve the people of Kenya diligently and with commitment, knowing that you're coming into public service to serve the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, when the broad-based government came into being, it wasn't just about broadening the base to create positions for people. It's about service delivery to Kenyans. And wherever you find a good person to offer good service to the people of Kenya, get them. If you find them in Wiper, get them. If you find them in ODM, get them. If you find them in UDA where there's a repository of knowledge, equally get them. And equally, those within government who are incompetent have time also to be shown the door. And indeed, I am happy this House has led from the front in showing the door incompetency. Those who have been incompetent, this House has taken action. And therefore, even as we appoint, as we approve these nominees, we want to tell them, show your competence, express your professional good manners in office, Work for the people of Kenya. Do not work for a region. Do not work for a party. Work for all the people of Kenya with diligence, commitment, and knowing that in your service in government, you are serving the people who are ultimately the bosses. The appointing authority may be your boss, but ultimately the boss is the people of Kenya, and serve them with commitment. There are challenges, and I am very certain that Dr. Oluga knows the challenges that have been there in the health ministry. I am confident now with
Add the majority leader 1 minute to conclude.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was saying, Honorable Speaker, I am very confident with the leadership of CS Aden Duale at the helm now at the Ministry of Health. The issues that we have seen in the past, that house being nicknamed Mafia House, Duale and PS Oluga will clean out the mafia. The issues that we have seen, the challenges that have been there with the Social Health Insurance Fund, Honorable Speaker, I am very confident. My predecessor, Honorable Aden Duale, together with Dr. Oluga, have now what it takes to combine the leadership skills and the wisdom of CS Aden Duale and the professionalism and experience of Dr. Oluga to fix what has not been right at Afia House, Honorable Speaker, and therefore support and urge all the members to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What is out of order, Honorable Pukose?
Honorable Speaker, I having allowed the member for Rarieta, who Dr. Omoluka is a villager from that place, and knowing that we still have many other principal secretaries to approve, can I be in order to ask that we approve Dr. Oluka as principal secretary for health and move to the next approvals, and members can still contribute to those ones?
Is it the mood of the House that the mover be called to reply? Yes. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of contrary opinion say nay? Mover, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, everything has been said. I reply.
Thank you. Order, Honorable Oundo. Freeze there. Honorable members, I put the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Health in its report on the vetting of nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, 3B of the Constitution, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Oluga Frederick Ouma, OGW, as Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Services in the Ministry of Health. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 11, special motion. Consideration of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Labor, to move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I write to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Labor in its report on the vetting of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th, 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, subsection 3, subsection B of the Constitution, approves the appointment of Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya as Principal Secretary, State Department of Public Service and Human Capital Development. Honorable Speaker, following the notification of presidential action nominating Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department of Public Service and Human Capital Development, and subsequent communication by the Honorable Speaker and referral of the Departmental Committee on Labor, A, the Clerk of the National Assembly on the 27th March 2025 facilitated placement of an advert in the print media notifying the public on the date, time, and place of the approval hearing of the nominee. B, in compliance with Section 6, subsection 9 of the In compliance with subsection 6, subsection 9 of the Public Appointments Act, the clerk invite the public to submit memoranda by the way of writing statements on oath on the suitability or otherwise of the nominee. C, in addition, the clerk on the 27th of March 2025 brought to the Kenya Revenue Authority, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, the Higher Education Laws Board.
The Honorable Ken Chonga.
Yes.
The detailed report of the committee is already on the table and has been distributed to members. Kindly summarize, if possible, go to the resolution so that the House can make a decision.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the committee, having considered the nominees' filed questionnaire pursuant to Section 6 subsection 8 of Public Appointments Act, her curriculum vitae, and having had oral and submission during the approval of the hearing, of the State Department of Public Service and Human Capital Development, that one, that she is a Kenyan of ID number 3464, 5601, born in 1961 in Kakamega, that the nominee holds a doctorate PhD from University of Botswana, Masters of Philosophy from University of Botswana, and a Bachelor's of Education from University of Nairobi. That the nominee is currently serving as a dean in the School of Education and Social Sciences at Kaimosi Friends University. She is having previously served as the Director of Quality Assurance and Management System at the same university, and has held difficult positions at the University of Botswana and the Gaborone University College in Botswana. She's also been an education expert advisor of the Botswana Parliamentary Education Committee and a Director of Research and Linkages at Gaborone University College. That the nominee, having conducted the approval hearings pursuant to Section 124, subsection 4 and 155, subsection 3 of the Constitution, Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Act, Cap 7F, and Standing Order 216, subsection 5 and F, the committee recommends that the House approves the appointment of Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya as Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development. Honorable Speaker, I request Honorable James Koyo to second.
I beg to move and request.
I beg to move and request Honorable James Koyo to second.
The Honorable James Koyo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I feel honored to be given the opportunity to support. I am a ranking member of the Labour Committee, and I confirm that the said Dr. Kere Mbunya appeared before us, and we had a rigorous interview. We held a rigorous interview for her, and she proved very suitable, and I believe she will add value to this country when she gets this appointment. And with those few remarks, I wish to support. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Labour in its report on the vetting of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, which was laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155, 3B of the Constitution, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya as Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development. Is it the mood of the House that I put the question? Okay. There having been no contribution, there will be no need for a reply. Honorable members, I therefore put the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Labor, his report on the vetting of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, which was laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 155 3B of the Constitution, this House approves the appointment of Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya as Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, special motion, consideration of a nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Trade.
The Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, to move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on its consideration of the approval hearings of Ms. Regina Akoth Ombam, nominated for appointment as Principal Secretary in the State Department for Trade.
Chair, just go by the order paper. And I would beg you start again for clarity of the record.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on its consideration of the approval hearings of Mrs. Regina Akoth Ombam,
Chair, Departmental Committee on Trade, do you have the order paper?
Yes, I have the order.
Please move as per the order paper now.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to move that taking in consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives in its report on the vetting of nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Trade, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, and pursuant to the provision of the Article 155 3B of the Constitution, approves the appointment of Mrs. Regina Akoth Ombam as Principal Secretary, State Department for Trade. Honorable Speaker, the suitability of the nominee was assessed after scrutiny of her background, academic credentials and professional qualifications, work and professional experience, personal integrity, as well as her performance during the approval hearings conducted on 4th April 2025, upon which the committee made the following findings. 1. The nominee is a Kenyan citizen and does not hold dual citizen in conformity with Article 78 of the Constitution regarding her eligibility for appointment to a state office. 2. The nominee has the requisite academic and professional qualification recognized in Kenya. 3. According to the record and information available to the committee by the nominee and the various clearing agencies, the nominee meets the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity. 4. In accordance with Article 77(2) of the Constitution and the Schedule of the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval, Cap 7F, the nominee does not hold office in any political party. 5. The nominee is
compliant with Article 75 and 76 of the Constitution on the conduct and financial property of state officers. She indicated the non-existence of potential conflict of interest and committed to declare any should it arise. The committee did not receive any written statement on oath contesting suitability of the nominee as required under Section 6(9) of the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F. The committee exercised due diligence and conducted vetting bodies for confidential information but did not receive any adverse report on the nominee. 8. The nominee demonstrated knowledge of topical, administrational, and technical issues touching on government and the specific sector has been nominated. The nomination of Ms. Regina Accords was in compliance with the Constitution and the Public Appointment Parliamentary Act, Cap 7F. The nominee is suitable for appointment as Principal Secretary for the Department for Trade. Honorable Speaker, for this reason, on behalf of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, I am proud to move this special motion on the consideration of Ms. Regina Accords for appointment as Principal Secretary for the Department of Trade.